When people hear the word recession, they picture charts, experts arguing, and headlines yelling at them. But a recession doesn't hit Wall Street first. It hits your life first. It shows up in a higher grocery bills, fewer jobs openings, higher rent, credit cards that suddenly feel heavier, and families saying, "What does everything cost so much?" So for today, I want to talk about what a possible 2026 recession could actually look like for real people. Not the textbooks, not the politicians, but everyday Americans. You have probably noticed it that the conversations around recession is getting louder again. And not because of one big event, but because a lot of smaller things are piling up. Household savings, they have dropped more than 30% from just a couple of years ago. Credit card interest that used to be around 16% is now 22 to 25% for most people. And some are paying close to 30%. Our insurance up to 25 to 40% in many states. Groceries 20 to 25% higher than 2019. Utilities, rent, everything feels higher. But nothing is crashing, but everything is getting heavier. And when life gets heavier, recession stock always finds its way back. So this doesn't feel like 2008, and it doesn't feel like 2020 either. It feels more like those slow burn years when people feel like squished long before anyone officially called it a recession. Wages have gone up, that's true, but the cost of living has gone up more. And if you got a 4 to 5% raise last year, but your bills rose 10 to 50%, you didn't get ahead. You're just running harder to stay where you are. And here's the real difference heading into 2026. Millions of Americans are carrying high interest debt while also having much less savings than a few years ago. That combination is what makes this moment feel different. Even a mild slowdown hits harder when people are already stretched thin. In past recessions and slowdowns, we saw job opening fall 20 to 30%, raises slow down to 1 to 2%, businesses quietly cut hours, rents go up even when pay doesn't, credit card balances grow faster than paychecks. For some families, a recession looks like a smaller paycheck, fewer job options, higher minimum payments, putting off plans, being more careful at the grocery store. And for others, it's more emotional. Hesitation, worry, the sense that something has shifted, even if you can't even explain it, why? That's what recession looks like at the day-to-day level. Most economists aren't shouting crash, but many of them are saying the same thing. The economy feels fragile. And here's what they're looking at. Jobs growth is slowing from 300,000 to around 125 to 150. Job openings down to 25% from the peak. Consumer confidence improving, but very cautiously. Household debt passing 17 trillion. Credit card balance hitting all-time highs. So none of this guarantees a recession, but together it shows as an economic that is losing steam. Some experts think we will avoid a recession. Others think a mild one could show up in a late 2025 or 2026. But almost all of them agree on one thing. American households are under more pressure than at any time in the past decade. You don't need a PhD to know how people are feeling right now. Just listen to the conversations around you. A teacher told me my paycheck didn't change, but everything else did. A warehouse worker said they cut overtime quietly, and there's no explanation why. A tech worker said, jobs that I used to land easily, now hundreds of people are applying. A restaurant manager said people are still coming in, but the checks are smaller. A retail employee told me, my hours dropped this month. I found out when I saw the schedule. This divide, where some people feel okay and others feel squished, often appears right before a recession, and sometimes even without one. Either way, it changes how Americans spend, save, and plan. You don't need to panic, but you can protect yourself. And before I go any further, this is not a financial advice. Everyone's situation is completely different. These are just common steps people use when things feel uncertain. So you build a small cushion. Even 500 to 1500 can take the stress out of surprising expenses. Focus on high interest debt. You don't have to clear every card, but even reducing a balance that charges 25 to 30% APR can help a lot. Cut one or two small expenses. It doesn't have to be big. Even trimming $50 to $100 a month makes room to breathe. Wait on big purchases. In slowdowns, companies often lower prices. Sometimes waiting pays off. Add a little income flexibility. A certificate, a skill, a small job, even $200 to $400 a month can soften rising costs. Again, not financial advice, just practical habits people use when things feel unpredictable. Planning ahead doesn't remove the risk, but it gives you more control. Whether a recession comes in 2026 or not, here's the reality. A lot of Americans feel the strain right now. Some feel it a little, some feel it a lot. Some haven't even felt it yet, but they're watching closely. Recessions don't affect everyone the same way, but the people who pay attention early, stay calm, and make thoughtful decisions, they usually come out stronger on the other side. Stay aware and stay steady, and remember your financial choices matter more than the headlines. Thank you for watching.